This video was filmed 2 weeks, if that, into the new year. At this time, I was just going through a lot of personal changes and just like overthinking about decisions that I made in the past. I am no way, shape, or form slut shaming anybody or slut shaming myself. Last year, I just made certain efforts towards certain things, and it kind of got lost in translation, and I didn't realize how, even though I did reach my goal, I did not realize the negative effects of what I was choosing to do. And I'm happy that I experienced so many different people, whether that was sexual or non-sexual, last year. I will honestly say this is something that I've been struggling with since I started having sex and like talking to men, and it's the idea of like being a hoe or being a slut, being viewed as an object and not a person. And I get it, like, I'm a pretty girl, I have big boobs, I have thick thighs, I have a nice size booty, okay, babe? And I get how people can sexualize that, but in turn, I sexualize myself a lot. And I have to take accountability for the parts that I played in certain situations, in certain dynamics that I was putting myself in due to being so naive. It wasn't until I had these last couple of encounters in which I speak, not necessarily in depth about, but around. So don't think that you have the full story when you don't. You have a perspective of a hurt or broken individual. And I was drinking that night. I had came home and I was drinking. I just turned on the camera and I was just like, because clearly I look disheveled. I look disheveled, and I'm still gonna upload this, so it is what it is. But I look disheveled, and I'm speaking and I'm not looking at the camera. Excuse me, which is what I do most of the time. I speak and I don't look at the camera, but it was much so like y'all talking to my necks. You know, like it's like that. And I don't know, I just felt the need as present me, as a person who I'm still kind of dealing with that energy, but I've come out on the other side. It could be mania, I don't fucking know. But now that I understand that girl, who she was, how broken she was, and understand that she needed to be broken in order to understand the bigger picture. She needed that experience with those people and to understand the bigger picture. Like, you had fun, that was great, and now we are 27, or in this case, I was about to be 27, and now we want to really genuinely figure out, okay, I done the whole man eater phase. And not to say that some of those things can't come with me into my next phase in life, but a lot of those things can't. I've done the whole man eater phase. I've done the whole I can have you, and you thing. I've proven to myself that I can get down with the get down. I've done that. Now, what's next? How do I want to operate in relation? I've built the intimacy, which I think I've talked about this before. I don't know if it got uploaded, but I've built the intimacy. I've built the capacity. I kind of sort of know what I like and I don't like. Like, I'm not even gonna say kind of sort of. Like, I know what I like and I know what I don't like. And I've assessed the version of myself that I want to be in a relationship and a version of myself that I do not want to be in a relationship. Really quickly, let me explain that. When I say that, I mean, does this person make me anxious? Does this person trigger my mother wounds so much that I am then combative? Does this person trigger my wounds when it comes to domestic violence and things like that? Like, does this person make me feel like I want to fight them? Or does this person make me feel anxious in a way that I can't be myself? Does this person make me a little bit too reserved? Does this person stimulate me in the ways in which I like to be stimulated? I found out that I'm very much so might be a sapiosexual, and I've just been doing things just because I just feel like I should be doing them. You know, like there's a difference in how I feel with somebody that is an intellectual and when I'm being stimulated in that way, and a difference between how I feel when I'm in a situation with someone who is not an intellectual. I adore the version of me that is in that relationship dynamic with the intellectual, because I adore and I admire intellectuals. I like the version of myself I love the version of myself that's in situations with artists. I burned myself, by the way. That's why my finger looked like that. But when I'm in a situation with like fellow artists, because I feel seen, I feel motivated, and those are the types of dynamics that I'd rather be in. Whereas other dynamics that trigger me, I don't like who I am. I might like this person, or I might have convinced myself that I like this person, but I don't like who I am with this person. And that is the bigger picture here. So that's just a little tidbit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that I've said everything that I needed to say to warn you niggas about what the fuck is tea with the rest of the video. Yeah, my eyebrows are pink. Let me go before I start talking. Bye. It is 2:44 a.m. Oh, come on. That's my phone is broken. And I have to be at work tomorrow, I'm not gonna lie. My bed's tore up, don't mind that. But I'm tired of stating the obvious. I wanna say this. I completely understand that the decisions that I've made and the decisions that I continue to make are completely and utterly up to myself. I understand if I want to make a change, I'm going to have to want to make the change and put forth the effort to make the change. I understand all of these things. I understand that intention is everything. I understand that. I understand that I'm not going to get anywhere if I don't put forth the effort to get anywhere. I understand that. We don't have to have that conversation today. We don't have to drill that into me. And I think that that's a problem with my problem, which isn't necessarily after posting / editing that video of me talking about celibacy and in what ways am I addicted to sex and how I've been using sex as a coping mechanism, etc., etc. You can call me a sex addict, you can say I'm not a sex addict. At a certain point, when something is taking over your brain, it is an addiction, point blank period. And I'm not afraid to be like, yo, I like to screw. I used to be afraid to say that, but I like to screw. This is my update. It's only January 13th. I told myself and I told y'all that, you know, what I was gonna do was just slowly kind of decenter sex out of my life. So this month it was going to be letting go of the men and more so just taking care of myself when it comes to my own sexual desires. And then it was going to be the porn, and then it was going to be, you know, that's how I was going to take it step by step. However, Kamala, I have not done that. I have to a certain degree, but I have not. Last week, I believe on the 1st of January actually, I had an experience, and we're just gonna call it an experience. I had an experience, and it was not a great experience. Okay. It barely was an experience. Okay. So that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth and kind of just made me not want to give people my energy in that way. So then I started to really dissect, like, what am I doing? What are my requirements? What is the next step for me? Do I want to keep doing this meaningless things with people? And I think the biggest thing, the biggest root of it is I found somebody that I wanted to not be meaningless with, right? That, like, I through and through didn't have to question whether or not I wanted it to be meaningless, or I didn't settle for meaningless because it was something. But I found a person, and that person disappointed me, and then I kind of went through a heartbreak without being in a relationship. So I'm healing from that, and I think that kind of woke me up to the fact that, like, yo, I think I'm tired of this, you know? I'm tired of being with people who don't fucking matter in a sexual sense, which is another part of the reason why I go celibate. So I thought I was healed, or I wouldn't say I thought I was healed. I'm still not actively healed from that situation. But yeah, I thought I was just, like, you know, moving forward. And then I do this with this person, and it's just like, that meant nothing. And then tonight, talking to somebody, whatever, go hang out with them, go chill, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. And then I'm like, if I want to do it, I can do it, you know, like, I'm an adult, I can do what I want to do. And I'm actively being like, I'm trying to be good, I'm trying to be good. And then it was just like, I go ahead and I do it, and nothing. I don't even know if I'm going to continue to talk to him after this. And it's not that the act was bad, not at all. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, like, what are you doing? I mean, it was cool. Like, I don't want this to come off as like shame, because I'm not ashamed of what I did. I don't feel shame. I just feel empty. And I think that there is a certain point when you are ready to transition into something more. Doing things like casual sex starts to feel empty. When you now want intention, when you now want growth, it makes you self-reflect. Like, did I really have, what did I gain out of it? And the thing is, y'all, I can't confidently sit here and be like, oh, that just showed me that, like, I'm not gonna do it again. I'm not gonna sit here and do that. I'm not gonna be fake. I refuse to be fake and be like, I'm not gonna do that again. I'm never gonna do it. I'm not gonna be fake. Just like I told dude earlier, like, I take the hard way out of almost everything in life, and I'm attempting to take the easier route. But there's two sides, because a part of me is like, I've been done so dirty in the past. I've been done so dirty in these relationships that I get into, and I'm understanding I am choosing them. Not that I deserve the trauma that came with it, but I'm choosing that. And then to get out of those situations and start back dating / being sexually active, it's like, is any of this shit worth it? Like, let's be real. Is it worth it? Do I just sit down and just, like, not talk to anybody and just, like, focus on myself? But I don't believe that you have to do that in something that is healing, intangible, fulfilling. I don't believe that you was just playing on my phone. Like, am I doing this because I deeply crave love? Is that what I want to do? Do I see myself loving another person? Am I capable of loving another person? Am I ready for what I want? Am I deserving of what I want? Is it, because here's the thing, I look at the relationships that were my example, and it's like, if this is what my lineage has chosen, I don't think I'm going to have a happy ending. I don't think that's in the books for me, even though I deeply want it to be. It has been taught that, you know, somebody's coming to save you, and family, marriage, really just to buy into capitalism, to push this patriarchal. And is it wrong to be a little girl, a woman who still believes in fairy tales. Is it wrong? Does that make me desperate? Does that make me unworthy? Is me being open and honest about this a turn off? Is it so wrong to be standing in my truth? Like, if this is a dream that we're being sold to push, why do I crave it so much? And why is it wrong for me to crave it? I find that while dating these people, while dating these people or being in relationships with these people, I think that a decent amount of people see the dirt, the grime, and the filth in me. And when I mean that, I mean just like my sexual desires and wanting to be pleased, wanting to be the pleaser for the most part. Probably not wanting to be pleased, but and being willing to try things, you know. They see that before they see the little girl that is just like, but I also want to be loved. I also want to be catered to. I also want to trust somebody. I want to be whole with somebody. But then once they realize that that girl is there, they take advantage of her. And there's so many other women that go through this shit too, so it's not. But they see that little girl, and then that's their entry. And then they use her, they abuse her, and then she's off to the numbness. Once she gets out of that situation, she's back numb, and now she's operating out of whatever the fuck is going on, bro. It ain't shit worked anything out here. So I'm gonna take my trauma and I'm gonna fuck it away, since that's all y'all want from me anyways. Y'all don't give a fuck about who I am as a person and what I bring to the table. You only care how nasty and filthy that I can get. And that's where I have a problem. When I start thinking like that, that's when the problem really comes. It's never in the beginning when I'm just like, I've given up. It's when I realize that it's manipulation. There's tactics to this. And that's what makes me not want to do it anymore. But why would I not do something when I deserve dick? You might not deserve pussy, but I deserve dick. Yo, this is too much. I don't know. I hope what I'm trying to say is translated. I hope y'all get it. But now I'm here in my thoughts and just like, wow, what do you want? What do you crave? Why are you doing this? And I think that's also part of the journey, is to observe yourself and say, what is the root? Why? I do a very good job at that, but I self-destruct before I repair, and I consciously self-destruct. I watch what I would rather do, and then I make the change. And sometimes I watch and I allow myself to do what I'd rather do, to the point where self-destruction is the only option. And I recognize that. If you ask me today, what is my greatest fear? My greatest fear is being lied to and manipulated again by somebody that I trusted to take care of me. And did I even really truly trust them to take care of me? I was in a car on my way to the house, and I started listening to SZA, and let me see, Another Life was playing. I originally went to Far because Far has been just like a song that has been resonating with me over the past couple weeks. And Far, you really listen to it. But yeah, I'm listening to it, and then I'm, damn, SZA sounds so much better when you're coming back from making questionable decisions.